So we'll begin in our Sukhasana. And sit cross-legged, nice and tall. Rolling the shoulders back, crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. And gently close the eyes. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose, expand through the belly, expand through the chest. And exhale out through your mouth. Take 2 more breaths like that. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. One more nice deep breath in. And let it go. Begin to just find a nice even breath in and out through your nose. Keeping all the muscles of the face relaxed. The jaw, the shoulders, your arms. We'll just keep our awareness on our breath for the next few moments. And really noticing each inhalation. First expand through the belly, and then the chest. And then on your exhalation, feeling the chest fall, and then the belly. Belly, and chest, chest, and belly. Really nice full breaths. In and out through the nose. And just allowing any distractions or thoughts that enter the mind to go. A few more moments. And start to bring the hands to heart center. And then from here, we're just going to open our practice by gently bowing our heads to our hands. You can allow the hands to float down into your lap. Begin to flutter the eyes open, gazing down. And then from here, we'll just go ahead and float the crown of the head back up. Let's extend out our left leg. We're going to bring our right foot to the inside of that left thigh, flexing through your left foot. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to take a twist over to the right, left hand to the outside of the right knee, right hand behind you. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Let's come back through center. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, let's lengthen over to the left. So left elbow to the inside of the knee, right arm reaches up and over. Nice deep breath in. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. Inhale, let's come back through center. We're going to turn to face that left leg. And then as you exhale, fold over it. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Second breath in. And exhale for 2. And start to make our way back through center. And then I just want you to extend out the right leg as well. So we're just finding this wide-legged straddle. Now from our wide-legged straddle, it's going to go ahead and gently walk the hands forward. We're gonna take 3 breaths here in this forward fold in between the legs. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. You can go ahead and rise back up. We're gonna now bring that left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, reach both arms back up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, twisting to the left for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Belly button zipping in towards the spine. 1 more breath. And exhale for 2. Inhale back through center. On your exhalation, lengthening to the right. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. You can come back through center. We're going to turn to face the right leg. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, folding over the leg. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale for 2. You can start to come back through center. This time we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Take a moment just to rock on the sit bones. Gentle butterfly in the knees, getting into those hip creases. And then from here, you can wrap your fingers around your big toes, open through the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, folding over the legs. We'll take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhaling for 2. 1 more breath here. And exhale. You can start to rise back up. We're going to bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. And then from here, just bring your hands slightly behind you. I'm going to come this way. So the feet are going to be about mat distance. And then I want you just to windshield wiper the knees. Just really kind of gently. We've done this so many times on our backs or on our bellies. So we're just going to do it seated now. Little bit of massage for the low back. Also getting into those outer hips. And then from here, we're going to start to make our way onto our hands and knees. We're going to find our table. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips stacked over the knees. And then from here, go ahead, tuck your right toes under. We're going to slide that right foot back and just a little bit of hinging forwards and backwards, pulsing through the right heel. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and pick that right foot up off the mat. We're going to point the toes and then point the toes out towards the ceiling. Just bending through the knee. Yep. And then we're going to take that right knee over to the right. So we're just opening up that right hip. I want you to do 3 big knee circles here on your table, like we would normally do in our downward dog. And then you're going to switch directions, 3 the other way. And then from here, you're going to reach that right leg back again. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring that right foot to the outside of your right hand. Now, from here, I want you to grab your blocks. You're just going to place them right to the inside of that right foot. You can either keep your hands to the blocks, or if you'd like, you lower the forearms down. And this is where you might want to just kind of slide that left leg back a bit, just to get more of a stretch through that left hip flexor. A little bit of hinging at the hips. One more breath here. From here, go ahead and come back up onto your hands. Maybe walk that left knee just a little bit back forward. forward so it's back underneath your hip. And then we're just going to bring that right knee back to meet the left. And you can place your blocks aside and we're back in our table. All right, from our table, we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow, inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. Just allowing the breath to move you. Finding other movement here. And then we'll just start to come back into our table. You can tuck left toes under now and slide the left foot back. A little bit of rocking, forwards and backwards, stretching out through the back of that left leg. And then we'll start to pick that left foot up off the mat, point through the toes and point those toes up towards the ceiling by bending through that left knee. We'll take that left knee out to the left, opening through the hip. Let's do 3 big knee circles, one way. And then we'll switch directions. And then square your hips off, straighten that left leg back. As you exhale, left foot lands to the outside of that left hand. And we're going to grab our blocks again, lowest setting on the blocks, hands under the blocks. And then from here, maybe you slide that right leg back a little bit more to get more into that right hip flexor. And then drop your forearms down to the blocks. And then same thing, little bit of gentle rocking, shifting the hips from side to side or little circles. Gently opening up through that hip flexor. And take one more breath here. And then from here, you can go ahead, come back up onto your hands. We'll start to maybe bring that left leg back to meet the right and just kind of realign the hips in your table. You can place your blocks aside. All right, back in our table. From here, we're gonna start to walk our hands forward, coming into a puppy pose. You'll start to bring your chest and your chin towards the mat and reach out through the arms. And we're gonna pause here for a couple of breaths just to feel the stretch in between the shoulder blades. The nice stretch that we should also feel when we come into our downward facing dog. And then from our puppy's pose, we're gonna slide forward onto our bellies and find Sphinx. Elbows right underneath the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, chest nice and open. From here, I want you just to look over your right shoulder, look at that right foot, and then come back through center. And now we're gonna look over our left shoulder, look at your left foot. Back through center, one more time, look over at the right foot. And center, left foot, and center. One more breath here in your Sphinx. As you exhale, gently begin to melt the chest down to the mat, forehead down to the mat. We're gonna bring those hands right underneath the shoulders. This time on your next breath in, we're gonna lift up into a low cobra, opening through the chest. And then as you exhale, lower the head back down, tuck the toes. We're coming into our first downward facing dog. All right, first downward dog of our practice. Pedal out through the knees. Anything that feels good here in that first downward dog of the day. And then on your next breath in, really bend the knees, send the belly back towards the thighs. And then on your exhalation, just sending those hips back into your downward dog. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. On your next breath in, we're going to start to walk our feet in between our hands, just finding a forward fold at the front of the mat. Knees can be bent as much as you'd like. Grab opposite elbows, let the head hang, let the torso sway. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale out. Second time, deep breath in and exhale, release your arms. As you inhale, let's find a flat back, really opening through your chest. On your exhalation, folding forward again. We're going to straighten out through our right leg. Left hand can come to our right shin. And then that right arm is going to peel up, twisting to the right. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale. Let's come back into that forward fold. Inhale, finding flat back. Exhale to fold. Let's straighten through the left leg. Right hand to left shin. Left arm peels up, twisting to the left. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. And exhale, folding forward. From here, keeping the head heavy, keeping the arms heavy, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're just gonna go ahead and roll up. And then from here, let's just do 3 big exaggerated shoulder rolls forward. And then 3 big exaggerated shoulder rolls backwards. And then from here, coming into our Tadasana, palms facing forward to keep those shoulders rolled back. We'll start to move through some nice slow sun salutations. So on your next breath in, we're just gonna circle both arms out and up, finding that high prayer. And then on your exhalation, we'll bend in the knees as you fold forward over the legs. Inhale, finding that flat back. As you exhale, hands to the mat, we're stepping it back into our downward facing dog. Now from your downward facing dog, let's shift forward and find plank. And then from plank pose, we're gonna gently drop knees to the mat, chest and chin lowering down. Inhale, finding low cobra, opening through the chest. As you exhale, you can lower the forehead down, tuck the toes, hips to heels. We're pressing it back into our downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in and exhale out. On your next inhalation, let's send that right leg up and back. As you exhale, let's bring that right foot in between the hands, finding a low lunge. From your low lunge, take a moment to straighten through the right leg and look forward. And then as you exhale, gently bend that right knee again. We're gonna place that left foot next to it, finding our forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding again. Inhale, high prayer. On your exhalation, hands float through heart center, and then by your side. High prayer, inhale. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. Flat back, inhale. On your exhalation, hands to the mat. We're stepping left foot back into our low lunge. Take a deep breath here, look forward, inhale. As you exhale, plant your hands, and we're back in our downward facing dog. On your next breath in, shift forward, finding plank. As you exhale, knees to the mat, chest and chin, lower down. Inhale, open your chest, finding low cobra. On your exhalation, we're back in our downward facing dog. Let's take a full cycle of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. On your next breath in, we're gonna send that left leg up and back. As you exhale, left foot in between the hands, finding your low lunge. Take a moment to straighten that left leg and look forward. Inhale. As you exhale, right foot meets the left, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold again. Inhale, circle the arms out and up, high prayer. On your exhalation, hands flow through heart center. And then back to our Tadasana. High prayer, inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. On your exhalation, hands to the mat. Right foot is going to step it back into your low lunge. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, step it back to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, plank. From plank, knees to the mat, chest and chin, lower down. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale out. On your next breath in, we are going to bend the knees, look between the hands as you exhale, step to the front of your mat. Find a flat back on your inhale. As you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, circle your arms out and up, high prayer. As you exhale, hands are going to float through heart center. And then by your side. From here, I want you to bring your big toes to touch, knees touch. Let's interlace the hands at the low back. Bend the knees, sink the hips. We're gonna find skier's pose, 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale, 1. Strengthening the ligaments around the knees for 2. 1 more breath here. On your exhalation, gently fold forward, allowing those interlaced hands to move away from the low back. Take a deep breath in. And then on your exhalation, just go ahead and release the hands and just kind of shake everything out. From here, let's bring the feet hip distance apart. We're going to find a flat back on our inhale. And then on your exhalation, we're just folding forward again. From here, just 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to roll back up to stand. And then once you arrive, you're just going to roll your shoulders back once, palms face forward, mountain pose. Let's look at something in front of us that's going to help keep us steady. And we'll begin to make our way into our tree pose. So you'll start to shift your weight into that right foot, little bend in that left knee. Let's place that left foot either to the inside of the shin or maybe all the way up to the inside of the thigh. Hands are going to come to heart center. And then from here, anything you want to do with the arms. And just make sure you're still breathing. From here, let's bring the hands around that left knee. Now from here, what I want you to do, and just take your time. We're going to start to now take the hands to the back of that left thigh. And you're going to try to extend that left leg out as much as you can forward. And then from here, you can just release that left leg down to meet the right. And just shake everything out. All right. And then we're just going to start to come into the other side. So when you're ready, you're just going to shift the weight into that left foot, right foot to the inside of the shin or to the inside of the thigh. All right, from here, right knee comes forward. Once again, you're gonna wrap the hands around that right shin first. Yeah, and then you can bring your hands under behind the thigh. We're gonna extend that right leg forward. This is the support of our hands. And then from here, release. Just shake everything out again. All right, from here, let's circle both arms out and up, high prayer. As you exhale, gently fold forward over the legs. Flat back on your inhale. As you exhale, hands to the mat, we're gonna step it back into our downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out through the knees. From your downward facing dog, let's find plank. And from plank, knees to the mat, chest and chin lower down. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. It's up to you. We're gonna take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath here. And exhale. On your next breath in, we're going to bend the knees, look between the hands as you exhale, step to the front of your mat. Gonna find a flat back on our inhale. And then on your exhalation, just folding forward. Inhale, circle the arms out and up, high prayer. On your exhalation, hands are gonna flow through heart center and then by your side. All right, from here, we're going to start to bring the toes to touch, knees touch. We're gonna bend the knees, sink the hips. We're gonna come into a chair pose with cactus arms. So you're gonna bend the arms at the elbows and just really open through the chest, palms face forward. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. On your exhalation, we're just gonna fold forward over the legs, shake everything out. From here, I want you to heel toe your feet so they are mat distance apart. Toes are gonna point out. And then we're just gonna come down into a little squat. And I'm gonna face you. All right, from here, you can kind of shift the hips from side to side a little bit, hands to heart center. Pressing those elbows into the knees. We're gonna reach that right arm down to the mat, to the inside of the feet. And then that right arm is gonna come over to the right. So the bicep is still to the inside of the knee. Left arm is gonna reach up towards the ceiling. Let's turn that left hand so that palm is facing behind you. And then we're gonna take the back of the hand to the low back for a little shoulder opener. Bind is optional, taking that right hand around the knee and maybe the hands clasped. We're gonna take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath here. On your exhalation, you can release that right hand back down to the mat. Left arm reaches back up towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring our hands back through heart center. All right, we'll do the other side. So left hand comes down over to the left. Right arm reaches up. We'll take the back of that right hand and bring that right hand to the low back. Maybe coming into the bind. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches back up. Hands come back through heart center 1 more time. And then from here, hands come down to the mat, and we're gonna slowly make our way up into our forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. So again, the feet are mat distance apart. You can just maybe sway the hips from side to side, bending 1 knee at a time, if that feels good. And then from here, we are gonna heel toe our feet right underneath our hips. Find a flat back, inhale. As you exhale, hands to the mat, you're going to step it back, moving through your vinyasa or skipping it. It's up to you. 3 breaths in either your downward facing dog or your child's pose. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath here. And exhale. All right, 1 more round of standing poses. On your next breath in, we're going to reach that right leg up and back into your downward dog split. As you exhale, we're going to place that right foot in between the hands. Left heel will spin down to the mat. Then we're going to rise up into warrior 2. Right arm forward, left arm back. We're going to do some moving warriors here to lubricate a little more of that right knee joint. So inhale, straighten through that right leg nice and slow. Flip the palms up, come into your high prayer. As you exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior 2. 1 more time, straighten. And then back into our warrior 2. Keeping those warrior 2 arms, we're going to straighten through the right leg, send the left hip back behind you. We're going to reach forward and come into our triangle pose. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more stretch here, really lengthening through that side body. As you exhale, I want you to rise back up. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. From here, we're going to start to align into a pyramid pose. So we're going to now square the hips off to the front of the mat. Right foot more to the outside of the, or towards the right side of the mat, and really square that left hip off to meet the right. From here, grab opposite elbows or forearms behind you. We're just going to open through the chest, take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're folding forward halfway for 3 breaths. And now, exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath. As you exhale, release those hands down to the blocks. Whatever setting you choose, let the forehead or let the head relax. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath. And then on your exhalation, we're going to start to heel toe that right foot back to the center of the blocks. And then scooch that left leg all the way back, coming into our low lunge. You can place the blocks aside, fingerprints to the mat, look forward, inhale. As you exhale, plant your hands. We're stepping it back into our downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa here. And then we'll come back into either downward facing dog or your child's pose for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. All right, on your next inhalation, we're going to send that left leg up and back. As you exhale, left foot in between the hands. Right heel will spin down to the mat. We're rising back up into our warrior 2. Left arm forward, right arm back. From your warrior 2, gently straighten through that left leg with both palms up. High prayer. On your exhalation, back into your warrior 2. 2 more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior 2. From your warrior 2, straighten the left leg. Send that right hip back, reach forward. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up, triangle pose. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhaling for 2. 1 more breath here. And then as you exhale, we're going to rise back up. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. And then we're just going to heel toe that left foot over to the left side of the mat. Walk that right foot in. Square those hips off to the front of the mat. Setting up for our pyramid. We're going to grab opposite forearms behind us. Open through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward halfway for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, you can go ahead and fold over that left leg. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath here. And exhale. Let's start to gently bring that left foot in between the blocks. We'll shimmy that right foot back, coming into our low lunge. You can place the blocks aside, hands to the mat, look forward, inhale. As you exhale, plant your hands, step it back, move through your vinyasa if you choose to. And then we'll take 3 breaths in our downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhaling for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. On your next breath in, you're going to extend that right leg up and back. As you exhale, we're going to come into our pigeon pose. You can start to bring that right knee behind the right wrist. Right ankle behind the left wrist, sliding that left hip back, opening through the chest. And then from here, you can start to lower yourself down, forehead rest onto something as we stretch out through that right hip for about 1.5 minutes. One more breath here. From here, you can just start to press yourself back up, hands by the hips. I want you to look over your left shoulder. We're going to bend through that left knee and reach for that left foot. So you can come into a little quad stretch here. I'm going to take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more breath. On your exhalation, release the left foot, tuck the toes, and then we'll step it back into our downward facing dog. Take a moment in your downward dog, pedal everything out. And then if you choose to, you can move through your vinyasa. And then on your next breath in, we're going to send left leg up and back. As you exhale, coming into your pigeon pose on the left side. Sliding that right hip back. Finding a nice opening through the chest on your next breath in. Yeah, and then as you exhale, we're going to lower down. Same thing, about 90 seconds here. So just really allowing the front of your body to relax. Relaxing through your jaw, muscles of the face, your neck, your shoulders. Just breathing here. One more breath here. From here, we're going to slowly start to press into those hands, coming back up. Go ahead, look over your right shoulder now, then through the right knee, reach for that right foot. And then we'll take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And then on your exhalation, release the foot, tuck the toes. We're stepping it back into our last downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out through the knees. And then from here, if you choose to, you can come through your last vinyasa. And then from our vinyasa, we're going to come into our child's pose. Taking a moment in your child's pose, maybe you gently sway the hips from side to side or sway the head from side to side. Nice deep breath in and exhale. And then from here, you're just going to start to walk your hands up by the hips. So we're going to sit on our heels in our hero's pose, but then just kind of walk the hands behind you. We're going to come into a modified camel. So all you're going to do is just come onto your tented fingers, open through the chest, and lift your hips up from here. Just a really kind of passive opening. Inhale and exhale, release. All right, from here, we're going to start to kind of shift the weight over to our left hip and extend the right leg forward, but we're going to keep that left foot just next to the left hip. And it doesn't have to be, I mean, depending on how your hips are, if it looks more like this, that's okay. But as close as you can get to your hip without it being too uncomfortable. And then from here, what I want you to do is we're going to come into a forward fold over that right leg. So you can just kind of start to walk the hands forward. It's a little bit more difficult in this type of forward fold. So if you can't catch your foot, that's okay. You can just bring your hands by your shins. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. So you can start to rise up. This is just a little counter stretch from what we did at the beginning of our practice when the hip is open. So we're going to extend that left leg out. Both legs are extended now. And you're just going to rock on the heels for a moment. Maybe even kind of do a little dribble in the knees. And then we're going to take that right foot now. As you bend through that right knee, taking that right foot to the outside of your right hip, as much as what's comfortable for you. And then from here, we're only just going to walk the hands forward with tented fingers as far as you can fold comfortably. We're going to take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more breath. And exhale. All right, we're going to rise back up. From here, making sure that you're closer to the front of the mat, we're going to lay down now. So you can just keep the knees bent, hands behind the thighs, and then just 1 vertebrae at a time, we're going to lower down onto the mat. All right, from here, we're going to come into a few rounds of moving bridge pose. So feet right behind the hips, hands perhaps grazing the heels. On your next breath in, we're going to lift our hips, lift those arms up and over the head, back to the hands to the floor. And then as you exhale, we're lowering those arms and lowering those hips right back down. And then you're just moving with your own breath as if this was a cat-cow. Inhaling to rise, exhaling to lower. Just massaging out through the spine, through the low back, your hips, your shoulders. We'll do 1 more. And then lower back down. All right, from here, I want you to bring your feet as wide as the mat. You're gonna bring your knees into touch. Just buckling the knees towards each other. And then we're gonna come back into those windshield wipers that we did at the beginning of our practice when we were seated. Just now we're on our backs. Dropping the knees from right to left. And then when you drop your knees over to the right, I want you to take that right foot and just place it to the top of that left thigh. We're just going to breathe here for a few moments. Again, getting into that outer hip flexor or outer hip. One more breath here. From here, you can just gently release that right foot from the thigh. We're going to start to windshield wiper the knees again from right to left. And then when you drop those knees over to the left foot outside of that right thigh. And then you can release your foot from the thigh. We're going to come back up through center and then just bring your knees in towards the chest. You can wrap your hands around the shins, and rock from side to side, little circles, anything that feels good right now. If you choose to, you can come into your happy baby, reaching for the feet, drawing the knees towards the underarms, and then any variation of your happy baby from here. And then we'll bring our knees back in towards the chest. And we're going to drop our knees over to the right. You can scoot your hips over to the left, head turns to the left as well. Spinal twist. And then from here, let's bring those hips over to the right, knees to the left, head turns to the right. And then from here, we can come back through center, bring those knees in towards the chest. Pick up your head, bring your forehead to touch your knees if you can. And exhale. We're releasing everything out into our Shavasana. Gathering anything that you need to in order to get yourself comfortable and warm. And just really allowing yourself to let go. You can take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Back body heavy. Your front body is light and supported by your back body. Releasing any tension from your toes, the soles of the feet, the ankles, the calves, the backs of the knees. Your thighs are relaxed. Your hips are releasing down towards the mat. On your next breath in, feeling just your belly expanding with breath. And then on your exhalation, the belly will relax, as does the waist and the low back. Releasing any tension from your fingers, your hands, your wrists, your forearms, your biceps, the heads of the shoulders. On your next breath in, your chest is going to expand with breath, expanding the upper rib cage, expanding through the lungs. And on your exhalation, feeling the entire length of your spine and all the muscles surrounding it release. No tension in the jaw. Your mouth is relaxed. Your eyes are resting on the backs of the eyelids. No tension in between the eyebrows or in the forehead or in the corners of the eyes. Nice deep breath in through the nose, expanding through the belly and expanding through the chest. And on your exhalation, feeling the entire length of the body release and any tension out through the crown of the head. A few more minutes here. And take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale everything out. You can start to flutter the fingers and toes, sway the head from side to side. And then on your next breath in, reach those arms back behind you, give yourself a big old stretch. And then from here, we're gonna start to bend the knees, make our way over to one side, finding that fetal position. And then gently pressing your way up, finding a comfortable seat. You can bring your hands to heart center, palms in Anjali Mudra. Thank yourself for doing something good for your body as well as your mind. As always, I thank you so much for joining me in your practice. Namaste.